Islam. This is Minister Saeed Al-Mahdi, and this is 6 of Shaban. The Mahdi is on their ass because the revelation then came on time. The numbers add up, and so we coming from the Quran 2196. When the gates are open, Gog and Magog, min kuli hadib. Min kuli hadib. We're going to get into that definition today. Hadib, hadibah. Because they're going to come from every direction, and according to the Holy Prophet, we know these are the European Turks, the white man, the wicked white man. We know the gates was opened already. We know that they have come loose, and they have now corrupted the world in every direction. And when I say every direction, I mean every direction. Eugenics, Planned Parenthood direction. COVID-19, the judicial system direction. Police brutality, Hollywood direction. How do you detect COVID in the blood without a COVID sample? I was talking to one of these people who work at the hospital last night, and we was debating about the COVID and the origin of the COVID. And he said they could detect COVID in your blood. I said, how can they do that without a COVID sample? So that means that you have to have the original source to call it COVID. It's like you can't call something marijuana if it don't have the original seed. That's called K2. It's not real marijuana, but it looked like marijuana, right? How can you call something that's not original? Yajuj wa Majuj min kuli hadid. We're going to get into that. We're going to show you a little something about the Moorish struggle.
Islam was introduced into the Sahara in the 8th century by tribes from Arabia. The dominant variety is Sunni of the Maliki rite. Since then, the Talib, or master of the Quran, has taught children from 5 to 13 years old the rudiments of writing and how to recite by memory the verses written in the Lauj, or Quranic tables, in return for a small stipend in the form of cattle. In the Sahara, the Talib were also men of the book, the governing class, and enjoyed certain privileges. For the Sahrawi nomad, the emptiness of this immense desert makes mysticism and dialogue with God easier to achieve.
This beautiful Moor from Morocco, an indigenous Sahrawi Moor, right? From the families of the Qurayshi Arabi, right? The royal blood of the Arab. They're going through a fight, man. Right now, the Moorish crown is holding it down for the bloodline. Check this out.
Citizens. Morocco's occupied much of the resource-rich territory since 1975 in defiance of the United Nations and the international community. Thousands of Sahrawis have been tortured, imprisoned, killed, and disappeared while resisting the Moroccan occupation. Following Morocco's invasion in 1975, about half the Sahrawi population fled to neighboring Algeria, where they've lived for the past 45 years in refugee camps in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, that's happening currently right now in Africa. The indigenous Moors are being put in refugee camps. They're oppressed, they're being bullied, they're being tortured by the white man, the Gog and Magog. As the prophet said, 3 times his nation will be taken over by people with peeled skin. And he was notifying his nation that they will be the white man, Gog and Magog. And Allah has definitely let the gates loose, ain't that right? The Moorish crown cannot be wrong because they speak from the Kuru. We come from the light, oh people. Got to understand these are the warnings and the signs of the news reporter, Minister Saeed. Let's take a look at some of the things that a witness, a Moorish woman, is saying.
Thank you very much, Amy Goodman, and thanks to Democracy Now! For talking to us and give to the Sahrawi activists from the occupied territory of Western Sahara the opportunity to share their stories and to share testimonies of victims. Regarding the situation in the occupied territory, there is a major crackdown on the Sahrawi rights, on the freedom of speech, on the freedom of movement, on the freedom of assembly, especially after Morocco violated the ceasefire and the war started again. Morocco started a wave of arrests against Sahrawi activists in the occupied territory. The oppression and the repression against the Sahrawi peaceful movements raising day by day, and Morocco keep arresting people. Now they are dozens of Sahrawi activists who are behind bars in Moroccan prisons. The people in Western Sahara are not allowed to express themselves. There are no press agencies in the ground that can document the violations against Sahrawi human beings in here. Morocco is continue closing the territory in front of the international observer, international activists, and international journalists. So we determined and we described Western Sahara as a black hole, as it was described by RSF reports 2 years ago, and by international organizations. It's completely closed, and we are suffered in silence. Regarding the Donald Trump recognition, we believe that this will not erase our legitimate right to freedom and independence. Sahrawi people is continue struggling, and we are not surprised since we have been betrayed by the international community for over 30 years, where we were waiting for a peaceful solution from the United Nations that we have been promised by the United Nations. And there is a mission to organize a fair referendum and to offer the opportunity to Sahrawi people to vote and to determine their own future by themselves. So we are not surprised by the recognition from Trump, and I think the statute of Western Sahara is already determined by international law, so not by a tweet of a president who is already in his way out. So the international law is clear and is set out in successive United Nations.
Okay, so you get the point. The white man will not help you. The United Nations will never help the indigenous Arabs, right? And when I say more, understand this is a nomenclature that the white man used to identify the different families that came in to conquer Spain, right? Arab is the same thing as saying Israelite. It's a nomenclature that unifies 12 tribes. There were 12 sons that came from Ishmael. And we got to understand that each and every tribe had their own family. They all spread out once the Prophet Muhammad left. I'm just going to bring you a little information about these people. Okay. Al-Jahiz is a scholar, an Arab scholar from maybe 100 years after the Prophet Muhammad. So we're talking about classical Arabic texts, talking about Abu Talib being a black man, the Hashimi. Indeed, Muhammad himself is reported to have said to his presumably black-skinned cousin, "You resemble me both in appearance and character." The Prophet said that about Ali, okay? The first cousin and son-in-law of the Prophet, Ali ibn Abu Talib, was a very black-skinned Arab described by his son Abu Ja'far Muhammad. This is one of the 12 Moorish crowns. Intensively black. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about the original Moor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless Wesley Muhammad of the Nation of Islam. This man really put in the work to study these classical Arab scholars, man. This is what the white man in the Sunni Islam will not give. We talking about Abu Muttalib. This is the Prophet's father, Abdullah, right? Jahiz described him as a very black and tall man. Muhammad's first cousin and son-in-law, Ali ibn Abdullah, was considered a black-skinned man. See, this is the type of haq that the Gog and Magog don't want you to have. You know what I'm saying? Psychological warfare, police sirens, all that shit is a signet to try to bar the haq from coming through, bar the purpose of the Mahdi. But the thing about it is, we're on the day of 6. This is 6-6. I'm on the ass. The Mahdi is on the ass. You can't take away the indigenous rights of a people. These are called inalienable rights. These are things that man cannot intervene in. This is a genetic bloodline thing. It's already coded in the person's blood. Today, these people at the deli stores in Harlem, these white folks, they actually think that these are their forefathers. They think that they think that they come from these people. But that's a whole lie. And the people of Morocco today, the Sahari, a reason why I use that interview as evidence to show that the original Arabs are fighting for human rights, like black people in America. The people in Yemen, the people in Sudan, the Baghdad, I showed you the picture earlier. They're all fighting for their human rights. These are the Arabs that were kicked out of their land. According to the prophet, they would be kicked out. Gog and Magog was let loose. Like I said, stop looking at people like a racist and let them show you racism. That's the problem with people today, because they have allowed themselves to be infected by the Gog and Magog demon, racism. It's coming from the white man. So now today, every race is embodying the racist look. Everybody looks at other people with racism. But my thing is, I'm advising the people, let that person that you're looking at with racism show you that they are racist. What is a racist? Again, I said it in many of my lectures. And I did a lecture on racism. It is to reject somebody without a right, right? This is the open manifestation. Mockery, lies, and slander and jokes will come out of a racist person, right? Or they just want to kill you. Most of the time, they're going to mock you, they're going to lie, and they're going to make a joke on you. But according to the definition of a kufr, right? Because a kufr is a racist. It means to reject. You're hiding something. So what they're really hiding is the jealousy, and we use the example of Iblis, right, in the Quran. It's either because you're handsome, your swag, or because of some superficial thing like money. But one thing the wise man knows about a jealous motherfucker is that a jealous motherfucker is mad that you have that swag, mad that you have that beauty, mad that you got that superficial thing, right? So the wise man knows that they're rejecting you. They're rejecting me. They're lying, they're slandering, and making jokes because they sad and depressed that they don't have the swag, right? When I say swag, it's a spiritual grade, right? Iblis was jealous. He was hiding the jealousy, so he disobeyed Allah. He rejected God. He lied and tried to say, I'm better because I'm right. That's what a racist do. He reject you, but he'll always say a lie to make himself look like he's not being jealous. Iblis was really jealous because Adam had signed on his blood 144,000 prophets. This is a spiritual grade. To be a prophet of Allah is a divine thing, right? And then Allah later put that blessing on Abraham's children. So now you got these people who look like peeled skin motherfuckers, like you see in this picture here. Now they calling themselves Arabs. The ISUPK, my cousins at the Israelite camps, they have to fight these Jewish white motherfuckers who are claiming their bloodline too. The Moors are no different. We gotta fight the same fight. They trying to claim to be Arabs, and we got the evidence today. Ain't that right? We on their ass. A man can have patience, right? And his patience makes his behavior so handsome, right? And that's his confidence that's killing many of them, right? Patience, good behavior, a handsome smile, and confidence. Patience, good behavior, a handsome smile, and confidence can kill many people. It could really make a lot of motherfuckers jealous. You understand what I'm saying? So we're trying to give you the facts about the Moors. I'm coming directly from the text, the hadith. It don't get no clearer than this. Coming from Ali, who resembles Prophet the most. He said that the messenger of Allah was neither tall nor short. He had a large head, a big beard, and a large hands and feet. His face had a black color. The word in Arabic is hamari, right? He says in Arabic, Wajhi hamari. Face was hamari. There go your definition in the middle. You need me to show you any more? I just showed you Jahiz, who came 100 years later, and I'm now giving you a hadith directly from the Prophet's cousin. So we know that them people who conquered Spain were hamari. Get it? Hamite, ham. See, the white man knows these things are written already. So the duty of Gog and Magog coming from every direction is that he has to show the original descendants of the Arab blood that you're not these people. Because these are Satan's children, Gog and Magog. Elijah Muhammad taught us about who these people are, our natural enemies. And the so-called Negro in America is so in love with their enemy, ain't that right? Because they live in a modern-day Babylon under a modern-day Pharaoh in the time or era of Gog and Magog. So you inherited the behavior of this motherfucker. And we know how he did it. Ain't that right? The nigga mine. Go and look up that lecture. I'll tell you how it happened. It's hard to think positive when nobody cares about how you feel. But imagine how the person who can't think positive feels when somebody can. Whoa! Because that's what the fuck you're seeing when you're looking at the Mahdi, right? A handsome smile and confidence can make many motherfuckers mad. Don't reject the Mahdi though now. We are the original Moors. We are standing up for Moorish blood. You understand what I'm saying? The Shua Arabs, right? Hadith, Imam Sadiq, the Sixth Crown said, the messenger said, I saw Abraham and Moses and Jesus and Abraham and Moses and Jesus. As for Moses, he's a man of tall stature, resembling the man of Zat and the people of Shanwa. The people of Shanwa is an actual clan out of the Arabs, right? Arabs is a nomenclature. It's like saying Israelite. It's a tribal confederate word, but within that word, there are many different clans, right? And the Shanwa is a clan of the Arabs. This is how they look. They live in Nigeria today. Okay? The Moors, baby. Their name has morphed, of course, because of the influence of Gog and Magog, the white scholarships. You know what I'm saying? They call us Moors. They calling us Berbers and shit. Like, these are their terms. And then they'll say things like the Tukulor people. So we're going to keep going. Because it just don't stop. We're talking about the bloodline of the Moors. Ain't that right? The Prophet Muhammad of Arabia was a pure Arab from the Bani Hashim clan of Quraysh tribe. Not only were the original and true Arabs black, but the Prophet's particular tribe and clan were famously black, as Robert F. Spencer remarks. It is said that the Qurayshi explained their short stature and dark skin by the fact that they always carefully stuck to endogamy, interracial marriage. And Henry Lamans took notice of this, remarking further that the Bani Hashim are generality, qualité de couleur, black. Even the Frenchman, these are white scholars. Now, we come in like in the 20th century. This is white folks testifying to the color of the Arab. So I done took you back to the time of Muhammad. I'm bringing you forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we can take it to Ibn Manzur, right? This is the 13th century. This is around the time the Turks started conquering all the black Arabs. 13th century. Always remember that number, 13. Right? This is a 13th century scholar saying that the pure Arab means Khalis al-Arab, means Aswad al-Jidad, black skin. Like whenever you said pure Arab, Khalis, a pure Arab, you had to use the word Aswad al-Jidad. According to him in his book, black skin was like synonymous with Arab. You couldn't even separate the two. This is also mentioned in Jabari. Jabari is a famous, Islamic scholar in the Sunni world. The children of Shem, because Ishmael descends from Shem, Allah made the prophets from them, revealed the books to them, made them beautiful, gave them a dark complexion. So we're talking about the Moors, man. The Arabs. I don't even think I gotta go any further. Like, I think I could just end it right here. And I will, because I had a lot more slides, but I don't think I need to go no more. Stand up for your tribe, African American people. I'm talking to the Moors. It's time. It's time. Mahdi, I'm out.